Let's talk about The Boys, Season 4, Episode 7. So we'll give our scores, and then talk about our overall thoughts, and then go into spoilers again. I'll start on this one. So for The Boys, Episode 7, I like this episode. I did have some issues with it. It seems like some of the stakes aren't as high as they were in previous seasons, but I think it did a decent job setting up for what could be an interesting finale and had some interesting character moments. I gave this one a 7. I thought it was above average. I enjoyed it. There's just some things. It might just be from the fact that we're getting further along in the show, like season 4. It's just hard to keep the stakes up as high, I guess. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty solid episode, and I'm excited for the season finale.
Yeah, no, you hit it spot on. I agree. I think the last 2 episodes are better, but I still like this one. Like, I would give it a 7 as well. And I think you're right. Like, this show, look, for a show that, like, tries to shock you, shock value, it's pretty weak in the terms of like stakes. There should be more stakes. Like that moment should have been like a holy crap moment.
I agree.
And it wasn't. But I did enjoy it. Like, I'm still entertained. Like 7 out of 10 above average. I'm still really enjoying it. I'm hoping. I'm also giving it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the finale just goes freaking balls crazy, man.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
Same.
Because I can't take another 2 years of like, oh, is Homelander finally gonna crack, or is something finally gonna like go the tipping point for everybody? Like, they have to do something. They have to in this finale. But yeah, 7 out of 10.
All right, well, let's get into spoilers. So, spoiler alert for The Boys Season 4, Episode 7. So, I feel like there's 2 things that happened in this episode that lowered the stakes for me kind of a lot.
Okay.
The first one, obviously, was the Deep. They had him dead to rights.
Yeah.
And they didn't kill him. I feel like Annie, being a superhero, probably could have killed him. I mean, you can maybe make some arguments that like he can survive I've seen some people saying like he said he went to the Marianas Trench, so he's like super hard to kill or something. But I mean, we've seen supes kill each other. Like, that's not that. And you could have even had
Butcher do his crazy whatever the heck he does.
Yeah, the thing he did to Ezekiel.
Like he was trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, I expected them to do something there, and they didn't.
Somebody should have died there. This has been a build-up for a long time of like who's going to take action, and like Homelander sends them to take action, and there's nothing. There's no consequences. It's that baffled me too. I'm like, really? Like, the Deep should be dead.
Yeah, I agree. And we did get some interesting scenes with the Deep, like with his octopus. That was such a weird scene.
Yeah.
But I did kind of feel bad for him in a weird way.
Yeah. I've liked what they've done with the Deep this season. Like, they've definitely focused on him a little bit more, and like you can see him getting to his tipping point. But then you have him go and like do this, which I know he probably would have got them if MM didn't show up and A-Train show up. Yeah. So it's like, but still though, come on, like he was finally at that crazy tipping point, and then like I don't know,
nothing really
it was very anticlimactic. I agree with you.
Yeah. And then
what was the other thing?
The other thing was Frenchie just shows up. Like, did he have like conflicts with the shooting days and they just needed him gone for an episode, or what? Like, what was the point of him going to jail and then just being let out?
Yes.
And I mean, we did get some interesting dialogue with him and Kimiko, I guess, but I don't see why he had to go to jail for that. That just seems...
Kimiko said what I was thinking. Like, stop being so emotional.
Yeah.
Like, you'd see, he's always, this season in particular, he's always kind of been like that, but this season, it's so freaking dramatic. Stop freaking pouting.
Yeah.
But like, God, dude. That you said that, I'm like, thank you for freaking saying that. But yes, I do like their dialogue they had together, though.
Yeah.
Like, finally, it felt like they had their chemistry back from the other seasons.
Yep, and there was that tense moment where she gets infected with the virus and he has to cut off her leg. That was pretty intense, and good old The Boys shock value. I do have an issue with that scene, though, but go ahead.
What I was going to say before I say your issue, which maybe it'll be the opposite of me. Again, it is lowering stakes. Of course, they use it on someone that could regenerate their body parts. But if they're going to have him try to escape and everything, and he uses it, I guess if they were going to have anyone die, this makes the most sense.
Yeah, and I mean, she's like the only one he can use it on there. She's the soup there.
Yeah,
so.
But what were you going to say about that?
The guy with one leg who's been trapped in this basement for however long, and like no money, nothing, can just escape, and even after he saws off her leg, he can't go get him. Like, I'm pretty sure he would be pretty easy to catch.
Yeah, he has like no legs, no like who knows if they gave him food or anything.
Yeah,
like,
they give him a little food from the fast food place, but
I mean, like you said, he's
been
in some
trapped.
dungeon for factory trap for I don't know how long.
I guess you could say they don't need him anymore, so they just let him go. But still, it was like
Kimiko and Frenchie were gonna let him go.
That's true.
After the fact, so maybe they're just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
they were concentrating on that. But yeah, I agree. But the whole Frenchie thing did annoy me because I'm like, dude, like, what was the whole dramatic thing of I'm turning myself in, I'm in jail,
and then he's just out.
Who got him? Butcher's like, I called him a favor or whatever, and like now he's out. I'm like, oh, you're right. I wonder if there's something with that actor, or he just couldn't be there for that.
That's what it feels like.
Episode, like, just it's so weird that I don't understand. The whole Frenchie storyline this whole season has been trash. That's the one side of the story I didn't care about. Even Kimiko, I haven't liked her storyline, but even her little explanation and flashback was pretty interesting to me this episode.
Yeah, I agree. It like explained why she can't talk. I was expecting her to talk. I feel like anytime now she's gonna say something and shock people.
I know.
Like I keep waiting for it.
I know. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like she's gonna die, and maybe she talks like right before her death or something. You know?
Yeah, that could be. That could be what they're saving it for.
Maybe not this episode, but like you're right. She has to. Maybe she won't, but I feel like we're waiting for that shock. That'll be more shocking than cutting off her leg.
Yeah, true.
Like her speaking, you know? But yeah, that stuff was interesting. And now that they cut off her leg, you know, they can whip up the virus from that. Yeah. And then I kind of like his storyline. Like he kind of wanted a dip, right? Like he fainted in that last episode when on a mission. He's like, I'm not a leader. So he was going to leave with his wife and daughter. And then A-Train was kind of telling him, like, man, they're going to get there. They're going to go wherever you go. If we don't stop this now, they'll take over the world.
Which is a very good point. I liked that scene a lot. Yeah, I liked all of A-Train's stuff in this episode and MM's stuff. Yes,
I agree. And then I liked, like, after, you know, they got back and saw that the guy escaped and they cut off Kimiko's leg, everyone's all down and he kind of steps up, right? And you can see him and Butcher kind of glance at each other. Butcher's like, okay, good job. Like, kind of like a stamp of approval. Like, there you go.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Yeah, so I liked all that stuff, and yeah, honestly, besides the Frenchie stuff, and then it's the stakes of that fight, I really did enjoy this episode. I mean, it was a solid episode.
Yeah,
and I mean, I like the whole concept of like, hey, like we gotta stop, you know, the president or potential president. Was he the president or potential president?
He won the election, but he hasn't been put in place
inaugurated
yet.
Or whatever.
Inaugurated.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, I like the whole concept of like, we gotta save him from getting assassinated, pretty much.
I found it funny how the date they picked, January 6th, they're being pretty open about their political...
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like they're just getting more and more open about it, which is pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of funny, but kind of not. Like, it's funny in the sense of, like, just dark humor. But, like, the whole finale is going to be about stopping assassination. And then you have, like, something like yesterday happened.
In real life. Yeah, an actual assassination attempt. That's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how well it kind of reflects reality at this point, which is scary.
But so I am excited for the finale because at least I'm hoping, dude. I really do hope they can't win, right? The boys, they can't win in the finale before the final season.
No, definitely not.
It has to be like the Empire Strikes Back kind of ending, right? Like,
yeah, that's kind of what it feels like.
Maybe this is me. I think I'm a cynical person. There's just death in shows I feel like are a necessity, and there needs to be a death of a main character in this finale.
I wonder who. I could see Kimiko, or I don't know.
Maybe Frenchie. I don't know.
Frenchie. What about Starlight?
Or, you know, honestly, I was thinking Starlight, but honestly, oh yeah, actually, Starlight could be.
And become like a martyr for the opposing side kind of thing.
The only other one I was thinking is MM. They're kind of setting up a story like...
Yeah, that would be sad.
Because he's kind of like the one... We all root for him, right? Like, he just wants to be with his wife and his daughter.
Yeah. Oh, that would probably be the saddest. So, yeah, that might be where I'm leaning towards. Yeah.
I think so, too. I think that one would be the saddest. I mean, Starlight would be, like, sad in the sense of, like...
For Huey.
I feel bad for Huey.
Yeah.
I don't hate Starlight. I just feel like this season she hasn't done much. I mean, she even admits she hasn't done much. Like, she's just sitting back.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Well, then there's that whole twist too.
Yeah, there's that twist where she gets, and I knew that when the person who could change was brought in, I knew there was going to be some kind of switch at some point. I just wasn't sure when, and I think they set that up pretty well with the person taking the photo, but I feel like they should have been more aware of that with that person out there.
Yeah, I agree. But I will say they fooled me. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so I thought of it when the person first showed up. I was like, oh, that could be really bad, but then I didn't think it was going to happen in that moment. So yeah, they did fool me with that too.
So I was thinking the same thing, like, oh, shapeshifter, so you're not going to know. Or like, what if someone, like, this whole season wasn't their person or something? Maybe Frenchie, because I hate the Frenchie this season. I'm just kidding. But then, like, yeah, in that moment, like, I kind of forgot about it, and I didn't, for some reason, I didn't put two and two together. Like, I didn't think it was weird for someone to want to take a picture with her when people are obsessed with her.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in that scene. Like, there was the MM stuff, there was the Butcher watching Ryan stand up to Vought, which I'm curious what you thought of the puppet show stuff. I found that stuff kind of funny.
Yeah, I like that stuff. Yeah, that stuff cracked me up.
That song was so silly.
Yeah,
it was so good.
Funny. But I like that because you could see Ryan, like, he wanted to freaking out Homelander almost. Like, ooh, I'm very curious how that storyline's going to go.
Yeah, it feels like it's setting him up to be the one to help take down Homelander because he's getting more and more brave standing up to him.
And, like, what is Homelander going to do, you know? Because, I don't know, I'm very interested. Because I used to feel like Ryan was the only person that he wouldn't ever hurt in the sense of, like, killing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, he's looking kind of pissed off. You never know with Homelander. But there's a lot of different pieces, man. It's interesting. This episode was a way better pre-finale episode than Acolyte.
Yeah,
the Acolyte.
I agree.
Could you imagine having all this decent season and then this episode just be like a flashback of, you know, Huey with his dad, like, not becoming a man yet or something? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that shows us the same things we already knew, but more boring. Yeah.
Oh, you know, another person that could die, and I don't care if he went away, is I still feel like A-Train could die.
I agree.
I know he, like, ran away and stuff, but, like, earlier in the episode, he even said that's not gonna last.
And Homelander can get to him pretty quick at any point if he knows where he is. One thing we didn't talk about is Sage. So she knew that A-Train was the leak, and I kind of felt like she might have when she was like giving that shapeshifter person the information. I felt like that was a little too easy for A-Train.
Too in the open,
But I don't understand fully why she would tell Homelander that, unless she has some ulterior motives. Like, why not just tell him? I guess maybe she's worried about him freaking out and just killing him or something instead of being able to use him, but it kind of screwed her over. She's now no longer part of the Seven, so I don't know.
What, you're right, though. Why not explain why you were leaking specific information?
Yeah.
Because she didn't, right?
No, she didn't. Not until after Homelander was pissed.
And also, I guess Homelander's always unpredictable, too. But I am wondering why he didn't just straight up kill her. He even said, "You're lucky I'm letting you walk out."
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe he knows, like, in the back of his mind, he might need her again or something.
That could be, yeah.
Because, I mean, Homelander is short-sighted, but he's also not stupid.
He can get emotional, but yeah, he's not stupid.
Yeah, he's just very short-sighted. Like, he can't think long game, but again, he's not. I don't think he's an idiot. At least that's how I see him.
Yeah, I agree.
So the Sister Sage, I'm very curious what that's going to do, because she's obviously has to, I don't know. I don't see her switching sides necessarily.
Yeah, I've read some theories that she was like trying to take down the boys with what she was, or not the boys, sorry, the Seven, like from the inside, and that was her plan all along. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know.
I mean, it could make some of her choices make more sense, but I don't know if that's really where I want it to go, you know?
I don't like that. That's for me, that's too easy of an out to destroy the Seven, like a person that's smarter than you, anybody in the world. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't make sense, but I just don't think I would like that to play out that way. Like, I agree with you.
Yeah, and that's just a theory. It might not be what was going on, so...
Yeah, but I mean, like, I could see it, though. Like, I definitely could.
They could make that work if they wanted to go that way.
I hope it doesn't go that way, though. Like, I think I told you, the one thing that, in my opinion, the one thing that they cannot do is they cannot have Sister Sage be the one to knock out Homelander, because that's too easy. She could easily outsmart him. It's just, for me, in my opinion, I think that would be introducing a character in season 4 and having that person be the one to, like...
be the undoing of Homelander.
Yeah, I think it's cheap.
I agree with that.
I don't think they're going to do that, but she might be a contributing factor, which I'm fine with.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's more likely of what's going to happen.
Yeah, but I don't think she'll be the one to do it. But I don't think she would be the one to do it anyways, because I don't necessarily think she gets blood. She's smarter than that. She doesn't need to get blood on her hands.
Yeah.
But no, so Sister Sage is gone. She's fired. And then with the Deep and Noir, so she was doing both of them? Is that what I got from that scene?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
So the Deep's not special, man.
Nope.
That scene was funny. She's like, bro. I was like, that was cracking up, I'm not gonna lie.
I find the Deep pretty funny. He's a funny, good comedic relief.
He's pretty funny.
Just because of how dumb he is.
He had a funny line, too, that I cracked up when he was fighting Starlight. And he's like, #MeToo ended 5 years ago. It didn't work. I was kind of cracking up. I'm like, they're so on the nose with things sometimes.
Yeah, they are, for sure.
But, like, that's kind of what makes them funny, I think. I guess it's just my humor, but...
No, I agree. They're so on the nose that it's comical, yeah.
Yeah, that, like, they're purposely trying to do that. Like, It's not like the dumb funny where, like, they think they're being smart funny. Like, they know what they're doing. And then Firecracker, she wasn't in this episode too much.
Yeah, she was there with the interrogation of Webweaver.
Yes,
which was pretty weird nasty, and gross. Yeah, good old boys.
So gross.
Let's have a really gross scene.
I know. Ugh. So, what do you think of Firecracker, though? So, she kind of confuses me because she goes through all this length to help him, but then she sees him terrible. Like, does she not know of his cruelty? Or maybe, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to grasp if she truly cares, or if she cares because she's scared, or if she cares because she just didn't realize how crazy he is until that moment.
Yeah, I think she realized just how crazy, because I feel like before she got on the Seven, she only saw like what the media was portraying him as, so she probably didn't see all the horrible things he's done fully, and now she's realizing that he's a little crazier than she thought. That's kind of how I took it, but I don't know.
Yeah. But then at the end, she was still, maybe that was just out of being terrified of him, trying to, like, comfort him and stuff.
She's still also getting something out of it. She's getting, like, the popularity and being close to, like, the most powerful person alive, which she's probably, I'm sure she seems like she likes that kind of power. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But she probably just hasn't seen that many people torn apart like that, which was pretty brutal.
Yeah, seriously, just with his bare hands, literally. But yeah, no, I'm excited. So the whole finale is kind of, we have a clear setup. They're gonna make that it's not strong enough to take out Homelander.
So they're going after
right?
Vicky.
Is that what they said?
Yep.
Yeah, which I kind of wonder how Huey's gonna feel about that.
Yeah, I agree, especially with his scene with Vicky, which it was a quick scene, but I think it was a decent scene. I enjoyed their little talk and trying to. Because I
think she really does care about him,
and I think she cares more about, because she seemed a little shocked when he brought up the internment camps. So I think she does care more about doing what's right than she lets on. So I don't know.
Her character is interesting. At least her character's got more interesting this season because. Yeah, I kind of just saw her as like, oh man, she explodes heads. This girl needs to go. Like, I think you're right. I think she does care more than she lets on. I've seen a lot of people complain about the season, but I've seriously, honestly been enjoying the season. Besides some storylines, a couple storylines, but...
Yep, I agree. And I wonder how much of that has to do with the Acolyte just being not great.
It might.
So
it
by
might.
comparison...
And it also, I think it, honestly, like for me, I think it did help that they announced the next season's going to be the final season. Just because I know it's coming to an end. Like, if I didn't know next season last season, I'd be like, okay, this is getting old. How long is this song going to go on for? But now I kind of know, like, there's a definite ending.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think that's helping a little bit. But I do get some of the criticisms. I really do. The whole point of this show was the boys, right? Some I don't want to say low life, but some underbelly group boys getting together, trying to kill Homelander, right? That's the main goal of this whole series, is trying to kill Homelander, and it's been trying.
Yep.
For 4 seasons.
One more season, they might do it. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's just about how. I feel like.
And I also think season 3, we've talked about this in the last review, season 3 went on such a high, like with Soldier Boy, and then like with Huey and Butcher getting powers. Like, I feel like that should have maybe been like this season.
Yeah, I agree. That one, I think that season is definitely better than this one. I liked it more.
Yeah, so I think so too. You had a lot of highs in that season. I feel like it felt like there's more stakes. Like, didn't it, or just me? Like last season?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like all the other seasons felt like a little little bit more stakes.
And I wonder if they're just trying to, like, they know next season, last season, so they're just keeping all the characters next season to, like, get the shock value for next season.
That's kind of what it feels like, yeah.
So, like, is everyone kind of just safe, you know, for this next episode?
Well, maybe they could be saving it for this specific episode to set up the next season, but yeah. They could also be safe and saving it for next season.
I mean, my hope is, so this isn't my prediction because I don't think it's going to happen, but my cynical hope is, like, Homelander wins, and, like, I hope the next season it skips 5 years or something, and you see these camps, you see this chaos, and it's like a freaking...
That would be interesting.
You know, like kind of apocalyptic, but, like, just a different world of camps of humans.
Like a totalitarian takeover, and see how that would look. That would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I would love that. I don't think they would do that, but, like, I think that'd be such an interesting thing for a final season.
Almost like an X-Men Days of Future Past, where we see, like, the crazy future. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just skip, like, 5 years or something, and, like, to where it's far enough to where you could picture that happening.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to play it safe.
Yeah, probably. I like the idea.
Yeah, maybe. I hope, man. Hey, if they do that, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'd give them props. That would be a ballsy move, and it would be cool to see.
And it would make for, like, a such good, like, I think, personally, like, a final season. It almost feel like a whole a movie of, like, a show, but, like, in season form, like, because it's just so different.
Mm-hmm.
But probably not.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's all I got.
Yep.
Really enjoyed it, though.
Excited for next episode to see where they go.